Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Let's meet our players.
Hi, I'm Grant, and I'm playing Trather Wimlin, a human fighter.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be playing John Abermere, a Crimson-born human.
Peter, Bertrand Greystone, Dwarven Forge Cleric.
William R. Aarakocro Magi.
Daniel, I am playing Vatten. I am a half-elf ranger.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I am Twig, or Shem. I am a rogue bard and a Goliath.
We hope you enjoy our episode. So you notice two things. One, because I don't think you noticed, well, you noticed before, you noticed they're still following you guys. But they just kind of seem to be keeping their distance. You also notice you're coming up on several cabins. Only one of which has smoke coming out of the chimney.
All right, now this is the point where I would like to attempt to do some reconnaissance and get stealthy and see if I can get closer to the cabin. Or how far away from the cabin are we?
120 feet?
Does the tree line stop before the cabins?
No. The tree line weirdly goes straight up to the cabin.
That's not suspicious.
Basically touches it. You're also sort of on a lake.
Well, you know, it's kind of a vacation-y kind of area. Being right out in the woods is kind of nice.
Picturesque.
Yeah.
All right.
Then I'd like to do the same, and I'd like to go up to the, it's still canopied. Go up and see what I can.
Yeah. So we'll
recon
do
up there.
some recon. Before we do that, if we're seen, just head back to the group. Don't bother fighting. Just run back to the
Right.
group because we'll be better there than caught out alone.
Straight or
Just
kind
don't.
of left angle?
Whichever way gets you there without getting killed.
And Daniel, you do see the four lizard folk over to this side over here. So Ben, you get a pretty decent little perch partway up a tree. You think you're fairly well hidden. Daniel, what Daniel? There's no Vatten here anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't leave town with us. Okay, so what did the two
Was
of you?
there ever a Vatten?
I don't know who you're talking about. That doesn't sound like a person that's been playing with us. Okay, so what are you two doing now that you are hiding away?
I'm going to sneak up to the cabin with the smoke coming from the chimney and see if I can peek inside. If there's any windows, if I can see inside or anything like that.
No windows, which you think is weird. But you can get close enough to the door to listen. Perception check. And Ben, go and have Shib make me a perception check. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, you got me covered.
Really nice tree.
With that 4, yeah, that's a really, really nice, solid tree.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear much through the tree.
Nope. He puts his ear up to the tree. There's something in the tree. There's definitely something alive in the tree.
Squirrel.
You lean against the tree. You hear something in the tree. Something drops and hits you in the head. And you look up, there's a little squirrel peeking his head out, and he's like dropping little acorns on you.
Squeaking?
Squeak, 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 squeaker, squeaking.
Have you seen the Chip and Dale's cartoon where somebody tries to cut down their tree?
No.
I don't remember. I think it was Chip and Dale. I don't remember.
I've seen the one where
Probably.
Chip and Dale are in a Christmas tree and it gets taken back to Mickey's house and they like
Yes.
Pluto tries to get them and they throw ornaments at him.
Yeah, so like that, basically.
There's the Donald Duck one where he's at the campground.
Yeah, and he's trying to cut the tree down.
They have the apple tree and they're like, apple core, want some more? Who's your friend? Me. And then they throw the apple core at him.
That's basically exactly what I'm picturing. Okay,
That
so
was a blast from my childhood.
yeah, it is. Okay, so Daniel, you hear some movement inside the house, but you can tell it's very limited, like almost they're expecting something. And you hear what you think to be roughly one person breathing, but you hear more movement than that.
I guess I will sneak back to the rest of the group and let them know what's going on, and probably wave at Shim and signal him to come down and stop fighting with that squirrel.
And I move back with
Squeak, squeak, squeak. He takes one more good shot at you, but you've moved more than 4 inches from the tree, so he can't hit you anymore.
Oh, nuts.
No definition in those tiny little squirrel arms. Okay, so what do the 6 of you?
Okay, so I heard some movement. Only sounded like there was one person like breathing, but I heard more movement than that. And if we've
Sounds
been
like
tracking,
we found our Warforged. They don't breathe.
if we've been tracking the Warforged, and if we're assuming the Warforged have been protecting the girl, then maybe we shouldn't bust in the cabin with weapons brandished. Maybe we should try
Knocking seems good.
Yeah, not
a
politely.
different approach.
I can make myself look like a Warforged.
I don't think that will be helpful, but it's good to know for future.
To at least open the door and just stand there and get a look.
I'm sitting here silently nodding my head. No.
No. Glare at him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Would you rather if I was a tabaxi and cast the spell again?"
You just open the door, and then it's just the Terminator music. Come with me if you want to live.
They just kind of like throw stuff at him. He's like, "All right, I'll be back." The Jaws music plays, and he comes in as a saw again.
This work? Hey, I'm back now. Hi. How are you? No? No, okay.
Too silly. Oh yeah, just show up like a shark person. Just Candygram.
And now I want to put him in a left shark costume. So
The 3 rows of teeth are very unassuming, right? We're good here? Okay, perfect.
All right, so
given the lack of left shark costumes, what do you say to Trather opening the door?
out of character, the person with the highest charisma score should knock on the door.
I have 16 charisma.
I have like what, 12.
Yeah, also 12.
I have an 18 armor class.
Oh, sorry,
Atta
So do
boy,
I.
Grant. And Daniel, you do still know those fine lizard gentlemen are still just hanging out, ready to party whenever you guys are. But they don't really seem to know that you know that they are there. That you know that they're yada yada. You get the point.
Yeah, well, we can just politely keep them in the dark.
Really dangerous? Sort of dangerous.
Friends.
Not really dangerous.
Sorry, that was supposed to be Australian, and it went Cockney accent, and sorry.
My name's Bruce.
We'd like to apologize to the entire British Empire.
Sincerely. Fish off friends.
Commonwealth,
Both
while we're
present.
at it.
Both present and former.
That's true. I put a picture of Jaws next to Bruce, next to Left Shark.
Yeah, it seems like we've really got the whole gamut covered.
Long
no,
live
you
So
Left
don't.
what
Shark.
you're
There's
saying
no
is your
bait.
shark
We
has jumped
we
the
still
shark.
need baby
Oh yeah, we do need baby shark.
Lefty shark.
Shark,
doo-doo-doo,
shark, shark,
doo-doo-doo,
shark,
Lefty shark.
Okay, now
It's-
it's jumped the
in my head,
shark.
Stupidly catchy.
Now we've
Stupidly
definitely jumped the
catchy.
shark. Well, time to
For
wrap.
the record,
Ah!
having small children, I got in on the ground floor with baby shark. All right, my kids loved it.
I'm sorry.
I still haven't actually been.
It's
exposed to
not
this
the worst
piece of
kids
media.
song out there.
That's accurate. And I'll actually, excuse me, be right back. And to our listeners, if some coughs get through, several of us have the coughs. Our apologies.
Yeah.
Ooh, we should do a supercut of everybody coughing into the microphone.
What are you guys doing with your wizard friends? You don't have any wizard friends. Your wizard folk friends. What are you gonna do about those
Aw,
4
I
lizards
guess-
and
I
that
guess
weird
ours
door?
not a real friend.
I mean, they could be wizard lizards.
Yeah.
They are wizardless.
If it was snowing,
That
it's
was last
they're
campaign.
lizards. Although, since they're cold-blooded, that probably wouldn't go very well.
Nope.
Have we volunteered anyone to knock on the door yet?
I think
Yeah,
John's
certainly.
going to.
Yeah, I think it was me.
Trather volunteered to knock.
And was subsequently overruled unceremoniously, and John was shoved forward.
Very well,
I'll do it.
John,
No.
if you don't mind, I will accompany you to the door. However, these
Are we all going together to the door?
Everybody
Um,
hide behind the same
Bertrand's
tree.
probably
and,
gonna
like-
stay over
and, like-
here, kind of like
I
the way
will.
that the lizard folk would approach, and just kind of
No.
like
But
I will.
you should all hide behind the same tree and then do that cartoony thing where everybody looks over like
The
the
Scooby Doo
edge.
door peek.
Yes,
Yeah, the door peak.
it
Behind
doesn't
the
make
scenes.
sense from a feasibility standpoint, but it's fine.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is the
Um,
door right here where I'm at with the white line
I'm-
there.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm actually gonna position myself where I can see the door and I can see the lizard folk, or at least
yeah.
have them.
And
in my
I'm going to
general
position
vision.
myself where if the lizard folk decide to charge, they're going to kind of have to come through Bertrand.
85% sure Trather doesn't know about lizard folk yet, so
No, it's fine.
These ones are just in general.
these in particular.
Both.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back
He's
to
a
Anyway.
cosmopolitan fellow. He's met lizard folk.
That's right. Okay, so John, how would you
I'm
like
gonna
to?
knock on the door.
Okay. Do you say anything or do you just knock?
Just knock.
Okay. You hear shuffling,
Okay.
and someone that sounds large and like they're moving a heavy weapon around.
Okay. I'm gonna wait until the door opens.
You do hear a small child's voice from further back in the house,
Okay.
but that doesn't expressly sound human to you.
Oh, good.
Okay. Like,
I appreciate how we didn't ask any questions when we were giving this assignment. We were just like, "Yep," and then walk out, and we all
like,
"What were we doing?"
What kind of not human are we talking about? Like,
Uh,
what quality, what timbre is there to the voice?
there's more depth than you expect from a 4-year-old girl.
Oh. Okay.
It's definitely a girl's voice.
Mhm.
It's just a little rougher than maybe you would expect from like a small human child.
Who's
Okay.
that at the door?
Not maybe not like that exactly, but like
Sorry, not like New England smoker.
no, not quite there.
Mother.
if you want, I can mage hand the door.
Or just try the door handle.
I mean,
I mean, if-
knocked,
if you don't
I
want-
knocked.
if you
I'm
want to be
gonna,
ready.
I'm gonna knock again, a little harder.
Okay, so
Hello?
when you knock the second time, you hear the voice again. Diamond, those don't sound like orcs. I don't know what they are, but they don't sound like orcs.
We're not orcs.
You hear another voice. Child,
That's what an
hush.
orc would say.
Not helping, Trather, not helping.
Well, hi, my name is John. We're currently being followed, and we'd like some assistance.
We're being
That's
followed.
not helpful.
Why didn't anyone tell me we were being followed?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
There's a very pesky squirrel nearby, Trather. That may need to be attended to.
Mhm.
Trather,
Acorns come flying out of the pine tree. You
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
know where he got them.
leave. You hear the child. Leave Mr. Squibbles alone. Okay, John, make me a persuasion or something check.
Okay, so Travis just rolled a 14 on animal handling.
It's one of my few trained skills.
He's Mr. Scribbles, apparently.
Trather, put Mr. Squibbles down.
But he's
Heather's
friendly and he
"I know,
likes my
little
helmet.
squirrel."
Squeak, squeak, squeakerton. He hops out of the tree, lands on your helmet, and is very intrigued by how shiny it is.
Yes. Here.
And then he kind of nests on top of you.
Yeah, right under the crest. There you go, good fellow.
Squeak, squeak. I mean, hey, if you roll dice, you roll dice.
Yep.
John, I suppose you should tell her that we've made friends with your squirrel, with her squirrel. Maybe that will help.
What is happening? Okay.
Your squirrel friend is here with us. He seems quite happy. We're not hurting him. I promise.
He's found a quite comfortable nest in my helmet, actually.
Okay.
This is why I like to
uh,
work.
It's canon now.
I mean, yeah, I made my choices.
Please don't give the squirrel a cannon.
I made no promises.
It's very tiny. Persuasion, intimidation, probably not that one.
I
Also,
got a
probably
16 on persuasion.
I'll take that
I'm
16
good.
on persuasion. You hear a confluence of heavy, animate voices talking that aren't the small child. Seems like a bad idea. Hey, maybe they're here to help. We need help. Hey, they don't think this is good. And this goes on for like a minute.
You know, if you had windows, you could just see this, and it wouldn't be that big of a problem.
Who sent you here?
Izzo?
It's a fellow named
Izzo.
Izzo. We were hired to come and rescue, I believe, a young lady who
We're
had
here on behalf of your grandmother.
Ah, that's the good piece of information.
Yes, we've come from Varen. And we've been asked to escort the young lady to Oriel.
Okay, so you hear the child actually get kind of excited when you say the words grandmother and Oriel. Grandma Kaya. Trather, you know that name.
All right, what do I know about her?
So your mother is an associate, a sort of contributor in the court of the city of the Crossroads, which is where you grew up. She works for the governess. And in her time there, a woman who is the Duchess of the city of Oriel came to visit a couple of times, and her name is Kaya. You've met her once or twice. Very nice woman. You know nothing negative about her. And also, I didn't say this earlier. I completely blanked when we were doing this. The child's name is Avia.
Avia.
Did you say
A-V-E-A.
Did you say Kaya, the Duchess Kaya?
Grandma.
I had the great honor to meet her at court some years ago. I hope she is still doing well.
You hear the sound of a very small child trying to push past a very large, unwilling object.
I know that sound.
John, you hear the sound of a big bar being moved from behind the door,
Mm-hmm.
and the door opens in, and standing in front of you is something larger than the doorway,
Oh.
and all made of metal and stuff, with a giant axe.
So
But,
is
like,
that a Warforged?
But not just one giant axe. There's a second giant axe as well.
Okay.
You assume it's a Warforged. It's
Oh.
tall enough you can't see all of it.
Oh.
Trather will offer his best bow and introduce himself again.
And the squirrel falls out of the helmet.
He runs in
Runs
between the
inside.
legs and into the house. The Warforged leans over and looks at the lot of you. I don't like this. Your grandmother sent you,
Yes.
and you don't work for the orcs.
No.
Certainly not.
Bertrand's like, I'm a dwarf. Do you think I work for the orcs?
Have you ever known orcs to hire anybody for muscle?
So when you say that, Bertrand, he looks at you almost knowingly. Reasonable. I wasn't injured, and you can tell he's definitely hurt.
Mm.
I probably wouldn't have opened that door. I don't know how much longer we can protect the child.
We will help him.
Bertrand kind of sidles, like still keeping an eye on the lizard folk a little bit closer. He's like, do you want me to look at your damage? I am a healer and I can repair things.
You can tell he's actually not in great shape, and neither is the smaller, on a relative scale, smaller, Warforged gentleman behind him with the big swords.
All right, well,
Giant curved scimitar.
I can pull out some healing magic and or the mending cantrip here, so
Do mending for me.
all right.
And do it
Alright,
twice.
well,
It doesn't really give back a
Wow.
certain number of hit points. You'd have to kind of house rule that.
Yeah, you can tell it makes a difference.
Okay.
All right. While he's doing that, I'm going to be, I guess, subtly keeping a close eye on the lizard folk and just unshouldering my bow.
Daniel, you notice they are approaching.
If you want to get much closer, you're going to need to state your business. And I'm going to ready the bow.
The two big ones in the front actually look a little surprised, but one of them in the back. We were just told to follow you to see if you found the girl.
You can go back now.
We were expressly told to get the child,
You
with or
will not.
without you.
You will not get her.
Granar
She's
wants
with
his
us.
money. And
He's gonna have
Shim,
to
you
find
hear him
another
say,
way.
you hear him say Granar. But
Okay.
as far as I'm
I
concerned,
climb out of
you're
the
still
tree.
hidden. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Trather's going to turn to the Warforged still in the doorway. Guard this should I fall, and start striding forward.
he stands. He doesn't even close the door. He just puts himself in the doorway, basically. Not a problem.
Capital fellow.
He makes so one of them makes eye contact with you, Shim. Ah, that boss said you would find them. Good, very good. You'll probably be paid. You can just go now.
Bertrand's
We'll
not
take
gonna
the
draw a
child from
weapon,
here.
but he is going to unshoulder his shield and bring it around.
One of the big ones kind of catches sight of the front of your shield, the stained glass, and is kind of taken in with it a little bit.
Shiny.
Yes, that's good.
Starting to think these guys are a little more trouble than they're worth.
What was your first clue?
The two big ones are like stretching.
Trather stretches
you guys,
back.
They
you guys
know
really
they know
can go
one
back
job.
and tell Granar that we've got this, and I'll have it later.
Unfortunately, Granar doesn't trust you that much, little Shim.
All right.
That's about as much as I trust him too. So
All right. I'm going to fire a warning shot into the trunk of the tree right behind one of the lizards, just like right over his head. And just say,
roll,
last
and
chance
just
to
as long
leave.
as it's not a 1.
okay.
One time, not a 1.
Oh.
Hey, there we go. That's not a
So,
1. It
Just over
thunks
his
next.
head, and I'm just gonna say, last chance to leave.
It thunks right above the one, like the bigger of the two big ones. Bigger being a relative term. He actually doesn't necessarily look that unnerved by that. You hear the little one. Lousy shot.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights behind them, kind of coming through the trees because it's 120 feet. So
Okay.
in the tree coming toward them. You guys might want to take a look behind you. It's not gonna go well if you stay.
So this
four,
one.
4 glowing orbs.
I did not mean to click that. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
4 glowing orbs about 10 feet apart come like just kind of bobbing far enough away that it's hard to see and obscured by the trees, but
And
enough.
as they're doing that, to kind of distract them from taking too close of a look, Bertrand's going to plant both of his feet and use thaumaturgy to make like this really loud anvil strike noise. This
So they
is
look
not
very,
a group you want to tangle with, Scales. Go back where you came from.
They look very confused. There's a lot going on right now, and they're not really sure how to process it. And the big two and this bottom of the other two, they're like right there on leaving. And the one who's done most of the talking, stay put. You know better. Granar's worse than them. You know that.
You haven't met me.
I'm going to cast minor illusion
Okay.
on the dancing lights behind them to make like a crackly sound, like they might be slightly electrical, kind of thing.
Okay. There's a lot going on right now. From a sensory perspective, even for me. Okay, so they're all a little weirded out right now. There's a lot happening. And the one who's done mostly talking. Fine. Do it myself. And he takes a couple steps towards you guys.
Well, excellent.
I'm gonna slap him with Mage Hand. As he first steps forward, just
Oh, good. You first then, Shem. Never did like you, right? Short excuse for a
Definitely
giant.
this one here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Oh, brilliant.
All right, initiative.
Cool.
Roll me those sweet, sweet dice.
We can only talk our way out of so much.
Rather finally got
Yeah.
the highest roll in the group after 2 long sessions.
That's like
Wow, and Bertrand got the second highest, and he's got a dex penalty. What man?
that's like the sugar-free version of sweet, sweet.
Splenda, Splenda.
Splenda, Splenda, indeed. Well, they didn't do any better, so you're probably fine.
Oh, good.
All right, you guys go do your stuff. You're fine.
Great.
Trather, you first.
Prather's going to draw his sword, step forward, just 5 feet, and look the leader in the eye. You'll have to forgive me. I have no magic to impress you with. Only my renown, my skills. I am Trather Wimblin, scion of the Wimblin family, knight of the crossroads. If you approach, know that it is on your head.
So be it. The other three looked a little freaked out.
Great. Do you want me to roll intimidate?
Sure, go for it. If you want to, I will allow it.
I mean, got another 7. How's that doing?
You're consistent,
Wow.
and you like 7s a lot, and I appreciate that. I tell you what, go ahead and roll with advantage since you did the whole... It was actually a very nice little
All right.
sentence
I'm
there.
just
I
gonna
actually
roll
really
it.
like that.
I'm gonna roll it again rather than
Yeah, that's fine.
intimidate.
Show me 7.
Hey, natural
Oh,
20.
natural 20. There we go. Okay. Not a 7.
I was desperately hoping for another 7. I'm not gonna lie.
Kind of was too. Okay. This one just flees. And the one in front yells at him, but it doesn't matter. You legitimately freaked him out in a very commanding, heavy, high presence way. The other two kind of scoot forward. They took it as a little more of a challenge. Let's go with Bertrand.
Okay. I'm gonna stay right where I am. So if he moves anywhere, he's within like attack of opportunity range. Be like, you really don't want to do this, and just kind of like pull out the hammer and like let it hit the dirt with like a really meaty thud.
Thump. All right. R, what are you doing, sir?
I was trying to decide between Firebolt and Ice Knife.
So Ice Knife, you will have to be in melee range of them, I believe.
Yeah, it says 60 feet.
Oh, you can
And I
throw
don't know
that. I
if I
forgot
go.
about that. Okay.
Ice throwing
I-
knife, apparently.
Yeah, Ice
Well, let's
Knife's a ranged attack spell. It's
Let's
just got a
do,
weird melee sounding name.
I'll do a Firebolt. Just-
All the coughing. You miss. It kind of shoots over his head.
I'm gonna cast Bane on the guy up front.
Okay. Go for it.
Isn't Bane an area of effect spell? I think you can get more of them.
Can I? Oh, I can. Up to 3. Up. Yeah.
Okay, they will all make charisma saves.
So yeah, let's bane them all.
And by make, I mean that's an optimistic assertion. Actually, okay. Of course. There it is. All right, one fails, the other 2 make it.
Yeah, but like beating a 12, that's not a hard thing.
So I roll a d4 and subtract that from his attack and saving throws going forward, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Vatten, your turn.
All right. Well, I will use my bonus action to put a hunter's mark on the leader, the loudmouth.
Okay.
It lets me do an extra 1d6 of damage to him, and if he dies, I get to just move it to the next one.
Excellent.
Also, which one failed, by the way?
The one in the front.
Okay, the leader didn't fail?
Yes.
All right, so I will start by making my attack with my bow. Twang!
Natural 20.
Yes!
Roll that damage.
Double damage.
All the damage.
So, I guess it's your call. Would that also affect the hunter's dice roll as well?
Ooh, let me look.
Per the rules, yes.
There
Yeah,
you
per
go.
the rules, yeah.
I can work with
Um,
that.
All the dice are you roll all the dice involved in a damage roll twice on a crit, which is real fun with sneak attack.
Oh,
oh, yeah.
no.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
this is gonna be really good. All right, so let's.
But the static bonus you only apply once. So like your dex bonus to damage or whatever, that's only applied once.
Yeah, this is just the arrow, and then I'll roll the hunter's mark next.
Okay. All right. And then your extra from the hunter's mark, which is a d6 twice. Yes.
Ooh,
Plenty.
Nice.
So 19 total. So I just drill him.
Yes. He falls over.
Then I will continue my hunter's mark and put it on the one on top. That's still there.
Okay.
Yep.
You can use it to track them for, I think, what, like 10 minutes or something? An hour?
Yeah, I could also track them as well, but
They leave.
I elect not to track them.
I'm going to walk over to the guy that got shot down by the arrow and use spare the dying on him.
Okay.
You might want to pull the
That'll-
arrow out
that'll
first.
That'll stabilize, I'm sure it comes out as part of the spell. It'll stabilize him, but it won't bring him back to consciousness.
Okay.
And then I'll probably just like lizard men have like heavy, thick claw-like nails, right?
Correct.
All right, so I'm gonna just kind of drag him over like here and tie him by one wrist to a tree branch while he's still unconscious.
Okay.
So he'll have to like claw the rope off to get free, but he's not gonna like starve to death there.
Okay.
And we're just gonna give
Leave him-
ourselves a really nice long head start on this
Just
guy.
leave him next to the lake. Lizards like fish, right?
Yeah, sure. why
Well,
not?
I'm back. Also, I think you misunderstood the bit about the arrow there, Peter. Vatten wants his lucky arrow back.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as this is happening, you hear the door open. You can come in now. So you guys make your way into the house, I assume. It's a rather
Yeah.
small lakeside cabin. And inside, you find 3 Warforged and a small half-orc child.
Oh.
And she's real
He's
cute, and
cute.
she's real cute and rambunctious, and a little. She's maybe a little too adventurous looking. And you see 3 Warforged. There's a very large one, and then there are 2 others.
This is character thing. Bertrand like will walk over, smile, and produce like some candy from nowhere and just hand it to her.
She's very okay with that. One of the Warforged looks at you a little disapprovingly. Not that you're giving her something that they don't know you, that you're giving her sugar, and that's not going to go well in the long run. But it'll probably be fine.
She'll run it off.
Yeah.
How tall is she?
That's a great question. So she is a little taller than you would expect for a 5-year-old, and a little stronger looking than you would expect for a 5-year-old.
Not probably not than we would expect for a half orc 5-year-old. So
Even
yeah,
than
orcs
you
are
would
balls of raw physicality.
maybe even a little more than that.
Oh, okay.
This child looks active and prepared.
Well, John will go in and introduce himself. Hi, I'm John. We spoke through the door earlier.
Okay, so you guys are in the house.
Oh,
Avia proceeds to give you a 15-second version or longer of her life story. She talks very quickly, and you don't understand most of it, but that's fine.
I don't think Orcish is on my known languages anyway, so
It's on mine.
You're pretty sure most of it was
Oh,
in
I
it was in
lied.
common.
it's totally on mine.
And at the end, she points to each Warforged. The one on your left, that's Diamond, and then the one with the big sword, that's Slice, and then the larger gentleman, that's Rampart. They take care of me.
well, they've been clearly doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Indeed.
She runs up and she hugs Diamond. So you know my grandma?
I do, although not well. I had only had the pleasure to meet her a few times at court, Lady Ava.
Are we gonna go see grandma now?
We just have to make one stop first, and then we'll go see your group.
Everyone make me perception checks.
Wow, not a 7.
There you go, Trather.
I want to point out that that's a natural 18.
Bertrand
Oh,
is
nope,
too
Oars
busy
got my
being
7
like,
covered. Thank you.
Yeah, you took it away from
Yeah.
everybody else.
yeah.
And Daniel. There it is, fine. Okay. Okay, so Trather and Vat notice a few things. One, there's a boat out back. And a door that opens like directly to the boat. You notice everything's very tightly kept. She has her own little area, but everything else is very formed and kept in specific places, with purpose. Like they were prepared for something.
Yeah. Also, just as of note, if that boat is the scale, I don't think Rampart's gonna fit on it.
Roll 20 layers. Give me a second. We'll fix it. Nope, I still can't get him in the boat. That's what I get for trying. We're fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. All right.
It looks like I was right.
You are not wrong.
Have him just lie in the water and kick, and he can be an outboard motor. It's fine.
You can just probably float on him.
Just spin the axe.
They're buoyant. Okay. So you guys make your way back. It takes you a day or two. They are all very hesitant to leave. But you guys seem to have built some trust. Particularly with the whole lizard folk
I will at some point
moment
during deliberations
situation.
mention that the lizard folk tied to the tree out there is going to wake up and start scratching his way free at some point. So
That's more his problem than ours.
I doubt he will try to come back in here.
Okay, so Diamond picks Avia up, pushes on a little spot on Rampart's back. It shifts out, and she sets Avia inside of it. And she actually doesn't even stick out. Like, she's inside of the Warforge now.
wow.
It's like a
That's
car
so
seat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Before we leave this area, is there anything on the lizard worth anything?
You find a couple of gold, and you find a note. It's basically a list of directions to essentially, they just essentially say, follow them, find a girl, Granar make money, you probably make money too.
At least
Granar
one
loves
copper.
that word, probably. Is this cabin yours, or did you stumble upon it?
The girl's parents.
Okay.
It was a safe haven if needed. We came here after the orcs visited and went on a trip.
What became of
notice,
her parents?
You notice he's very specifically not saying certain words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like her parents or kidnapped or any of those words.
Right.
They're gone away for a little bit, but they'll be back.
Did they go with the orcs?
Yes,
I see.
to visit the
If,
crow.
I'm gonna
Is
get
it
the gist of what they're saying. give like a nod and a wink, and then stop.
Bob's your uncle, yada yada yada. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys make your way back to town. The three of them kind of hole up as you get closer to town and kind of stop maybe 5 or 10 minutes outside of town in the woods. Diamond opens up the cavity on Rampart's back, takes the child out, and she kind of puts her down next to John. We will stay outside. We draw too much attention.
Okay.
I will
And
whistle if something happens and we need you.
Rampart nods. Diamond puts a cloak over Avia so that you really can't tell anything other than you have a small child with you.
Or perhaps a halfling. It could go either way.
Her feet aren't exactly hairy enough, but it's close. Okay, so you guys head back in, and you go back to the big board. And you come back in, and Izzo looks up. Took you a couple days, which, oh, good. Ah, good. Okay. He heads over to the stairs. He kind of it looks like he almost hits a button on the side of the staircase. And you hear a little noise upstairs, and then the door opens upstairs, and a woman comes down. And she looks around. What is it, Izzo? And when she hears the voice, Avia freaks out a little bit, jumps, and like runs. And oh, child. Oh.
We have another interested party that we ran across here that you may want to know about.
Izzo looks at you. Was it Granar? Please tell me it wasn't Granar.
Oh, nope, it was Granar.
Oh, good.
It was.
It was Granar. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. All right, we'll worry about that later. Getting her back to Oriel is your problem now. There's whispers that the orcs have gotten to hiring bigger contracts to come find the kid.
Great.
Someone mentioned the mist. That's never a good thing. Shim and Vatten, you two specifically, both are real familiar with that name. The Mist is someone you hire when you want to throw a lot of money around to get something done real efficiently. It's not a name you hear thrown around often, because the prices aren't cheap. But the quality of service is exceptional.
Now, is that a person or a organization?
No one's really sure.
Okay.
Jobs get done. The Mist takes credit. It's probably one person. It could be 7 or 8. The frequency with which jobs get done and the efficiency makes it hard to believe.
Okay.
And he looks at you. I think you two probably know. The Mist isn't someone you would want to deal with. Be careful.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to stop right
Always.
there.
Ooh, I like it.
We will pick up next
All
session with more curious things.
Excellent. I think ending every session in Izzo's house, ominously, is how we need to do this, frankly.
Yeah.
I can't make promises, but we'll see what we can do.
Can Izzo just get like a pump organ installed in like the corner so you can go?
There's just a guy sitting there playing it. Huh? Oh, yeah,
Just
you guys are
over
fine.
and over
Good.
again, like dinner is served. Dun dun dun. No, not our Mr. dinner.
No, stop, Roderick, stop it.
Sir? Oh, my apologies. It's the only song I know. Not a problem. Izzo
that
like
At least it's not the entertainment.
That and take me out to the ball game.
Izzo face palms. Knew he was the wrong one to hire, but he was the cheapest. We'll sort that out later. It's fine. All right. So thank you guys for listening to Baby Shark Time with City on a Hill Gaming. I don't know why I said that. We're probably not going to use that. I'm going to cut it. It's fine. Thank you for listening to City on a Hill of Gaming. We appreciate you guys listening. You can find us online. Before you find us online, go find the fine folks from Saving the Game. stgcast.org, at Saving the Game on Twitter. You can also find them on YouTube and Twitch, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yep. STG Cast on Twitch.
There we go.
Yeah.
And what's the
Stream
email
Friday.
address?
If you want to email us, it's hosts@stgcast.org.
And go check out their Discord channel. Also do that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's linked on our website, stgcast.org.
And you can find us at City on a Hill Game on Twitter, cityonahillgaming.com, or cityonahillgaming@gmail.com. And also go check out A Gaming. Oh wait, let me get the name right. I want to make sure I get this name right. It's a new podcast I found very recently, and I want to make sure I get this right. There we go. It's called the Christian Gaming Podcast. At _CG podcast on Twitter. Raina Swift Stage. It's a just kind of video games and Christianity podcast. I've listened to the first 5 or 6 episodes. Very cool. Go check them out. Go check out the
Brand
final.
new as well, so definitely help them get off the ground.
Very, very
Yeah.
new. But she's already put out like I think 6 or 7 episodes at the time of
Prolific.
recording. And she does an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out the guys from Inroads Ministries and Geek at Arms and MinMax
MinMax.
Podcast. Go listen to all the cool things, like right now.
Yep.
That'll
Thanks.
keep you busy for a solid year of listening time.
It's not that much content. You'll probably get through all of it eventually. It'll be fine.
Pro tip, listen at 1.25 times the speed. It's just a little bit faster. It'll cut off a few minutes.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most podcast apps will let you do that, so check that out.
Most podcast apps will go up to ridiculous speeds, like 3 times normal speed.
Don't do that.
Prepare
not-
podcast for ludicrous speed.
Yeah.
He's gone.
The Auctioneer podcast. We've got a podcast.
Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming. I'm your Game Master Ryan. Ooh, no, that's not a good idea. All right.
Oh.
Everyone hear D&D played by the Chipmunks?
Oh,
I mean,
I haven't, but I
yes.
want to now. Squeak, squeak, squeakerton. Okay, we appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for listening to City on a Hill Gaming. For more information, you can find us online at cityonahillgaming.com, email us at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter at cityonahillgame. For more information on Saving the Game, you can find Peter, Grant, and Jenny at stgcast.org or at Saving the Game on Twitter. Thanks, and have a blessed day.
Ooh, wait, if Ryan's gone, that means I get to tell jokes now.
All
right. So,
Fill that blooper reel.
all right. So, what do you call a
I see I came back at a good time.
All right, what do you call a halfling seer that's on the run from the police?
A small,
I know this
medium,
one.
at large.
Small, medium,